So I asked you guys on Instagram to send me a bunch of questions that you like to know, and I picked the best ones. So we're gonna go through that right now. So what lot size do you use? I do not use a set lot for every single trade. I calculate my lot size per trade. So you can either use a lot size calculator, there's many online, just type in lot size calculator, or you can use something known as Magic Keys, which is what I use. This is known as Magic Keys. So what this pretty much helps me do is that when I click on open Cal, it pretty much knows the lot size of that trade based on my stop loss. When I click on open trade, it knows exactly what lot size to use. Now we'll put the link for the Magic Keys below. Magic Keys for me is a game changer. I literally would not trade without it. When I have to trade without Magic Keys, I hate it because I have to start calculating lot size manually and it's extremely long. So now I can enter a trade in within literally like 5 seconds of me seeing a trade now. With GU giving you bad trades recently, do you ever consider shifting pairs or do you stay loyal? Now, yes, GU was a headache for about a week, right? I don't think I've even had that kind of losing streak ever. That was really bad, but I've backtested GU enough that I know that GU is still one of my best pairs to trade. So just because I had one losing week, I'm not just gonna change it. And this is something that you guys should also learn and take on board. Just because you have a losing streak does not mean now you ditch the pair and start mopping onto something else. So for me, I have my top pairs. GBP USD is one of them. And then my second at the moment is USD Swiss. No one knows about USD Swiss, probably besides me. I don't know anybody else that trades this, but USD Swiss cooks as well based on how I trade anyway in London session. It might be different depending on the session and stuff, but those are my top two pairs. So no matter how they perform, I have data of up to a year at least to back it up that these pairs are winning most of the time. It suits the way I trade and they win most of the time. So I'm not going to be changing pairs, and I don't think that if you go on a losing streak for a week or so, you should change pairs either. Just give it time to come back. So what broker do I use? I have a personal broker and obviously I have a prop firm as well. The key thing to my brokers is that they need to have pretty much zero or tiny spreads. I'm a scalper, so every time I enter a trade, my stop loss is quite tight compared to like most people. So the key thing to my brokers is they just need to have almost no spreads. And you guys have seen most of the videos, it's exactly like that. Almost no spreads. That price can come super close to my stop loss and I still somehow survive the trade and I carry on about my day. So I'll put the links to my prop firm and my broker in the description. If there is a discount code, will be there as well for you guys to check out. The best advice you can give someone who's struggling with discipline. Discipline simply goes down to lack of faith in a way. And what I mean by this is, number one, whenever you enter a trade, you should really be going in that trade because you know exactly how it's going to somewhat play out. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you know the outcome of the trade, nobody ever knows, but I'm saying that you have data to back up what your thought process is, right? Not based on what analysis you're seeing. In my case, I scream this all the time. Every single pair that you're trading, you should have backtested for at least 6 months. You should have at least 6 months of data to show you that, okay, this pair, with the way I trade, is going to win maybe 60% of the time. That's my sweet spot, at least 60. 50 is fine, but for me, anyway, based on my trading style and my TP and stuff, at least 60% of the time. So I know that most of the time, I should be winning most of my trades. But if not, then, you know, fair enough, right? There's still that 40% of chance that I might lose the trade. So why I'm getting to this is because I have this data and I'm super confident and I've done 6 months worth. So this means I'll probably guaranteed over 100 trades backtested for each pair. I know that, okay, cool. If I trade like this, we're taking one trade a day, looking for, you know, 1 to 2s. Most cases, I will be profitable at the end of every single month, most of the time. So just knowing this, right? Just knowing that that is the case based on, again, a large sample size of backtests, then this is why I'm just very disciplined, because it's almost like saying to you, if you are to click a like on this video, you're going to get £1 million. Why would you do anything else? Why would you like take time, or I don't know, why would you want to hesitate or click on the dislike button instead? It's almost like you know exactly what you have to do to get the result, so you just keep doing it until eventually you get that £1 million, right? Let's just say it's a 1 in 10 chance. You just keep clicking it because eventually it's going to happen. It's the same formula. Most of us aren't disciplined because we don't really have a formula to follow. So in that sense, you kind of keep changing things. You don't follow your rules. One day you do something else because, again, you don't have something to follow that you trust, that you know is going to give you that kind of result. Most of us have a strategy that we use from, you know, our content creators or somebody else, or you made your own. You yourself don't trust it enough, hence why you're not disciplined enough to follow it. If you know you're going to leave at 1 to 3, leave at 1 to 3 all the time. Don't be changing it all the time. I get 1 to 3s all the time. You might want to go for 1 to 4, but you yourself know that that might not hit all the time. So it's just a bit like, go for what has the highest percentage all the time, so you can give yourself that chance of actually winning all the time. I said all the time so many times. Okay, so Luke said, what strategy do you use, bro? Interested in joining your Discord server? So I trade supply and demand. Basically, once in a while I might pull out the liquidity grab, once in a while I might use support resistance to back up something. But generally, let's just say I trade supply and demand 99% of the time. I've made some videos on this. If you want to know exactly how it works, just check out the previous videos that I've made on supply and demand, but that's basically the strategy that I use, supply and demand. Did you start documenting your trading journey before or after profitability? Now, if you go to my Instagram and you check my highlights, in fact even on YouTube as well, you will see that I've been documenting my trading journey way before, from when I started, right? On YouTube there's probably a video that says I started trading for the first time. I wasn't profitable then, of course, but I've been posting these videos since I started. Many of the OGs, if you've been here long enough, you would know that back in the day I used to invest in stocks, and then I started doing eBay dropshipping and print on demand and all these other side hustles. So I was trying a bunch of things, and then eventually I thought, let me try out trading as well. So whilst I was learning the whole thing, I pretty much was documenting the whole process then and my losses and everything else. So eventually, here I am now after about 2 years, and I'm still documenting the entire process, so you guys can see exactly how it's been for all beginners and those who are also, I guess, pro traders as well. What is the name of the trade assistant that you use for position sizing and executing your trades? And I've covered this already. This is the Magic Keys. I'll put a link below for you guys to get one. It is a game changer. Everyone in the mentorship group uses it because they also know it is a game changer. Once you have it, I promise you, you're not going back. So I'll recommend you cop one. Will you fully move to a personal account at some stage? Yes, I am definitely going to do so, because personal account trading is definitely a lot better. There's just less rules. You can kind of do a lot more things. I like to see it as prop firm teaches you to be disciplined. Eventually you want to make a lot of money from that, move to personal and start making a lot of money there as well, because there's just a lot more freedom and flexibility. To be honest though, if prop firm still exists, I might just have it on the side, but my main will be personal account. This is when I'm growing now from time to time, but I'm definitely going to be trading that personal. It's just a lot different experience. Once you start trading personal, you start to realize that they are just some things that just makes it better than trading prop firm and the rules and stuff. You just have all the freedom to do whatever you want. Basically, you can set lot sizes and not be afraid that you're gonna blow the account or anything like that. You can withdraw pretty much whenever you want as well. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be moving to personal down the line at some point. 1 trade a day versus 2 trades a day. Now you guys would know, or you might not know, that I scream this all the time, but 1 trade a day keeps the 9 to 5 away. What I mean by this is that it's a simple formula that I like to use. Everything that I do is very systematic. Again, this is just to remove the emotions, and this is what keeps me very disciplined. So if I'm taking 1 to 2s and I'm taking 1 trade a day, this means that I can only lose 5% in a week. There's no ifs or buts. I can lose 5% in a week, Monday to Friday, max. And let's just say I'm taking 1 to 2. Sometimes I might get more based on how my strategy is, but let's just say 1 to 2 is most of the time. So in this case now, let's say I win on Monday and I win on Tuesday. I've made 4%. I can now lose on Wednesday, I can lose on Thursday, I can lose on Friday, and I'm still going to make 1% that week. So if this happens week 2, week 3, and week 4, overall I would have made 4% that month. 4% of just 100K is 4K. Most people are not making 4K every single month. So that alone by default is decent money, and this is the bare minimum, right? This is the bare minimum of I win 2 and I lose 3, so I'm losing more than I win, right? That's the bare minimum. But let's just even increase the percentage now. Let's say I win 3 days and I lose 2 days, right? Now you can see 6% and I only lose 2, so that means I'm up 4%. So now times this by 4, you can see how the numbers just start to get a lot better. So that's what makes it very, very simple. Once you start to take 2 trades a day though, it messes with the numbers sometimes, because if I take 1 win, I'm usually done, and say another day I lose 2, now I'm break even, and then another day I lose 2, now I'm down 2%, then the next day I'm up 1%. It skews with the numbers a bit. So I see it as like, if you're going to take 2 trades a day, it means that when you win, you will also take another trade to hopefully get that 4%. But obviously if you win and then you take another trade, now you're only up 1%. It just messes with the numbers. I like to keep my things nice and simple. So 1 trade a day also helps with psychology, right? You just take 1 good setup and you know that is it for the day. Because what tends to happen is whenever people lose 2 trades, right, that is really when the psychology issues come, because it's very hard to be down 2%. There's something about being down 2% plus commissions and all. It brings a different kind of challenge, but being down 1% is a lot easier to handle, knowing I just lost 1 trade today and I go about my day. But losing 2, it starts to get sticky. That's when people want to take the 3rd trade to make up for those 2 losses. And then if they lose 3, the 4th trade, they're going to go full margin and blow the entire thing. I've seen this happen many times. It just happens a lot. That is why personally 1 trade a day. If I do change to 2 trades a day, I might change the percentages a little bit more, or it's because I'm just willing to actually take that risk on like another account that I don't mind. But it'll be an account I'm always going to be taking 1 trade per day. Now everybody tells beginners to try prop firms, but new traders aren't profitable yet. So what are your thoughts? Now it's very true with prop firms. Prop firm is a money making machine, and it is a recipe for beginners to lose a lot of money. I can vouch for this myself, because when I first started trading, I was getting 25K prop firm accounts. Because to me, 5K was too small. I wanted to make big boy money. We've all kind of been there. So 25Ks was expensive. It's like $125 or so per account. And I was blowing these multiple a week. Been there. So in general, do I recommend it for beginners? No. Most definitely, what I might recommend though is any prop firm that offers demo, because demo on prop firms is good. It teaches you to still be disciplined because you can blow their account. So it teaches you to start getting to those rules, but not, risking 5% in a day, trying to make that 8% and all that stuff. So it starts to teach you some good habits, but overall, you definitely want to start on demo, either personal or prop firm, but prop firm demo is better than personal demo because personal demo kind of teaches you nothing. Because say you have 100K on a personal demo, you can take whatever trade you want, leave whenever you want. You feel like you're making money, but not really, because there's no management, right? You just close when it goes green, and then when it's red, you just leave it until it goes green. It doesn't teach you anything, right? So I would say prop firm demo is good, but don't get a prop firm account. Don't start a challenge until you know what you're doing. There's no point trying to practice on a challenge. It's the biggest waste of money, and most people don't get profitable in trading simply because they don't last long enough, right? They quit before it gets there because money gets too tight. So you want to save as much money as possible so you can handle the losses and the experience and everything, so eventually you still have enough money to actually now start to take the challenges seriously and stuff. Now I'm going to do a quick speed run of these questions just to quickly breeze through some of these. So how do you deal with losses? Do you leave the charts or trade again? Simple. I just simply stay on the charts, right? It doesn't really bother me too much, but I'm taking one trade a day, and if I lose, I lose. Yeah, it's just that simple. I've kind of conditioned myself to just do so. Why do you only take 1 to 2 trades per day? If your strategy has an edge, wouldn't it pay to keep trading? Yes, but just because you have an edge doesn't mean you don't apply risk management and percentages, and just, you need risk management anyway, right? Just because you have an edge doesn't mean you keep spamming it, because you can still lose, and you have to be content and not be greedy and stuff. So it's just more conditioning and having good psychology and just having other things to do in life. So one trade and I'm done. I don't need to over trade too much, because one trade for me is kind of enough money anyway. So I just accept what I can get. How do you deal with psychology on 6-figure accounts? I think personally it's the same thing. I like to think percentages, not the money. Because of that, it doesn't matter what account size I'm using. Even if it's 1 million, 10 million, it's still the same percentage. I just see it as lose 1%, make 2%, done. So whatever the number is, doesn't really matter. It's just percentages. What advice can you give to someone who's just starting trading, like you're into it, is working a job also, and people around them not believing in him? This is very, very tough indeed. Best advice I'll give technically is if you're starting trading, don't tell anyone. In my case, I did it publicly. Everyone kind of knew. So it brings a different kind of challenge, but it did teach me a lot of lessons, and it helps me to learn trading quickly because people are watching. But in everyone else's case, I recommend doing it in silence. So that way there's less pressure. The pressure can get tough. People can definitely think you're doing rubbish, you're wasting a ton of money. So in my opinion, stick with your job so you have an income, and then you want to be trading on the side and just see it as like something you put money into once a month, and then you're learning on the side. So that way you have management, there's no rush, right? You're still saving money, you still have an income. It makes it a lot easier, and just focus on it. Eventually you'll become a good trader. Eventually, there's no rush. That's the key thing. There is no rush. Do you sometimes have losing streaks, or is it all greens? Of course, losing streaks. I post my losses all the time. Most people don't, because they want to sell you the idea that you're winning 90% of the time. But for me, I post my losses just as often, right? So you guys can see. So losses do come in. It's just with good risk management, you're always going to win more than you lose. Do you trade live on Discord or any other streaming platforms? Yes, I technically trade with the rest of my team on Discord. Everyone in Sully's Academy, we all trade together every single morning. That's pretty much what we do, literally daily, and yeah, pretty much on Discord and the Academy. And that is all your questions. So I do hope this has been somewhat valuable. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you did like this video, and leave your opinion in the comments as well on every single question that was asked. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.